Hi, welcome to this month's episode of Tea with Lisa. This month is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and so we have a special guest today. We have Miss TaTanisha Tucker from the Goodwill of Middle Georgia, and she is the Manager of Workforce Development. So we're going to talk to her about some good things going on there at Goodwill. So let's get into it. So TaTanisha, can you share a little bit about yourself and your role as the Manager of Workforce Development? Kind of tell us what that looks like.
So as the Manager of Workforce Development with Goodwill, I'm over their programs. They have a Source America program that helps those with disabilities find jobs up on Fort Gordon.
Okay.
Fort Gordon.
I still call it Fort Gordon.
We have a program that works with the veterans, homeless veterans in the area.
Okay.
SNAP, the food stamp program.
Okay.
GVRA, Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the programs that I manage with Goodwill in Georgia.
Yeah, and I know we talk a lot in acronyms here, like, so we have to always remind myself I got to go back and say, oh, GVRA means
Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Agency. Yes, ma'am.
So you work with veteran, or do you work with civilians to help to get them jobs at Fort Gordon too? Or
yes,
is it
ma'am.
Okay? So it's not just
now,
veterans.
They do have to have a disability in order to get those jobs up on Fort Gordon. Like I say, it's through Source America and through Ability One. So they do have to have a disability.
Okay. All right. And can you tell us what specific programs does the Goodwill Job Connections Center, that's a mouthful, offer to support individuals with disabilities in their job search?
So we do have those programs through Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation. So any job seeker that walks into a job connection and they need assistance with finding a job, if they do say that they have a disability and they need additional assistance, they will refer them over to my department. Okay. And then we would do an assessment to kind of see what their needs are. And then we can do a referral over to Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation if that's something they need. Or they may just have a disability where they need some accommodations while applying for jobs.
Okay.
They may need someone to read off the screen for them, or maybe someone to interpret the things that they're reading if they're not quite understanding.
And so do you do stuff there with resume writing? And well, I know it's not always easy doing a resume, especially for people that have never worked before or have very limited job experience. So do you have can you speak to that, how to do a resume for someone like that?
So we do, and I forgot to mention, when our job seekers come in, we do what's called a ONET training, where it kind of gives them a score of realistic, investigative, kind of gives an idea of what their skills are, as well as our digital literacy training that we do. It's on the computer training, and we try to build the resumes around skill set or around education, or maybe even some of the scores from those tests that we use. Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, we'll do this again. Yeah, so we'll just do a whole back and forth thing.
No, that's right. Go ahead. So have you been into any of the Goodwill Job Connections?
I have not, except I came there for a job, some kind of resource fair or something, and I was there just basically disseminate information, give out information about our services, but not to experience what you do.
So we do have multiple locations. Here in Augusta, we have the Peach Orchard Road Job Connection. We have the Washington Road Job Connection. That is right next to the Helms College. We have a job connection in Aiken. Actually, a lot of people don't know about that one. We have one in Thompson that just opened up. And then we have Macon. We have several ones down in Macon Job Connections. I'm trying to make sure I get all of the job connections, so no one will say that they feel left out. So it's Thompson, Grovetown. That's the one I forgot. Grovetown. So we do have a job connection up in Grovetown. It's kind of tucked off, so a lot of people don't know about them. But all of those are our job connections, and anybody's welcome to walk into them, do your resume, meet with a career coach.
And that's good to know, because Walton Options serves 16 counties in Georgia and 10 in South Carolina. So that's good to know that there's kind of a variety of locations for them to choose from. Now, are all the locations, they all do the same thing, or is there so Peach Orchard Road does the exact same stuff Washington Road does?
Yes, ma'am.
So there's no
set up the same. They have computers. Anybody can walk in. Every location has a job board. We're updating the jobs weekly or daily. If people call in and they just want us to post that they're hiring for something, so the hiring board, that's updated weekly. Each location has a hiring board. Each location has computers. Now, one of the things is each Goodwill is not a job connection.
Okay.
So we have one that's on Walton Way. That's not a job connection. That's just a retail store.
Okay. Okay.
So sometimes people get confused that each Goodwill is a job connection. Not each one is a job connection.
Okay. All right. And I got a question about, you mentioned the job board. Is that only there, or is it physically, or can they go on a website and see the job board? Or
so as far as for external job positions, yes, it's only on the job board.
Okay.
But for internal positions that Goodwill is hiring for, goodwillworks.org, it is updated weekly, daily on positions that Goodwill Industries is hiring for, and that's throughout the whole industry. So you just pretty much filter it by your location, and it shows you all the positions Goodwill.
Oh, okay. I know you mentioned something about Helms College. You want to talk about that a little bit? Helms College, and then the Edgar's Grill. I think
so Helms College, that is our long-term college program, which they have the culinary arts, they have the HVAC, they have the certified medical assistant program there.
Okay.
Those are some of the programs that people can take as well, and they are financial, and you can use your financial aid for those as well. We have the Edgar's Grill, which is an actual restaurant, but we do a lot of training in there as well with some of our Georgia vocational rehabilitation participants. They go into the restaurant and do some of the jobs that they would do in a typical restaurant.
Okay, so culinary, anything culinary kind of stuff. Okay.
Yep, hospitality.
Okay.
Culinary.
And Edgar's Grill is that is right there also in the same plaza with the college and Goodwill Works.
Yep, and then we have the Edgar's Above Broad that's downtown on Broad Street, which is similar to Edgar's Grill, but it's downtown.
Okay. All right. Well, can you describe the types of vocational training available for persons with disability at your center?
So as of right now, that contract that we have with Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation, they pretty much handle most of the referrals that come over for that vocational training. And that's your work evaluation, where we work with the participants one-on-one to kind of see what type of work they can do. We evaluate them in a space that is similar to a traditional workplace. We do community work adjustment training, where we work with them one-on-one to see what type of job they would like to do. We kind of evaluate them to see what type of jobs that they would like to do. An individual job placement, where we try to place them in different industries. Within
And every Goodwill work. Tell me again, what is Goodwill Workforce Development? Okay,
yes.
That's just a mouthful. For me.
Yes, it is. It is.
Every one of those sites has a job coach there.
Yes, ma'am. They have a job coach there. And the workforce development is the whole umbrella. Over it all. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, because we do similar stuff here with as far as people that want to go to work and stuff, we do an assessment.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you don't want to put somebody in a job in a kitchen, and that's not really what they want to do. They want to be a forklift driver.
Exactly.
So we kind of do probably a similar assessment to kind of see what their skills are and their goals and stuff like that.
And it's funny that you say that, because we do have forklift training. Those are our short-term programs that are no longer than 8 weeks. So we have the forklift, we have the phlebotomy, certified medical administrative assistant, and introduction to business. So those are our short-term programs, no longer than 8 weeks. So we do offer some of those programs too.
Okay, well that's good to know, because some people maybe aren't kind of long-term is not their thing with school. So not everybody wants to do long-term school.
And these are some great jobs that'll put you in the industry. Quick, we got so many hospitals around here.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't be hard to probably place somebody in a job doing that. And same thing with forklift. We got a lot of plants and industry and stuff around here.
And that's only a 2-week course. That forklift is only 2 weeks long.
Oh, okay.
And you get an OSHA certification at the end.
Okay. Yeah, okay, good. So how do you assess the needs of individuals with disability to tailor services and programs?
So Goodwill as a whole, we try to accommodate any job seeker that comes in. If they say that they have a disability, we try to do an assessment to see what their needs are. And usually that's by myself or my staff member, the career development specialist, to try to see what the needs are of the person, how we can assist them with their disability. Because some people have accommodations that they need when it comes to job seeking, as well as when it comes to getting a job.
Okay, yeah, we run into that a lot here. We'll have somebody that come in and don't know that they can ask for an accommodation, or they don't know what an accommodation is. So we come across a lot of individuals like that. So one of the things we do here is trying to help them with self-advocating and ask for an accommodation and what is reasonable, what's not reasonable. So, and at your centers, do you do any kind of disability work with people with any kind of disability, or is it just kind of specific disabilities?
No, ma'am. Anyone who comes into the door, Goodwill works as a whole to help everyone. Okay. So if it's a cognitive disability, a developmental disability, a physical, whatever their disability is, we try to help them and accommodate them in the way that they need. They need their assistance.
All right, good. Well, what mentoring or coaching services are available to help individuals with disabilities navigate the job market?
So that's where those who work with the Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Agency, myself, our career development specialists help with that particularly. So we assist them, like you said, with finding out what accommodations are needed, helping them to speak to employers about those types of things. If they feel like they need to maybe take a break from the workforce for a little while because of their disability, that's why we kind of step in and help. So that's under that umbrella of the Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation staff members. And then, like I said, the Source of America one up on Fort Worth.
Yeah.
So the people that we work with up there are the ones with severe and persistent mental illnesses. Okay. So they do get a little more accommodation, as well as if they need to work in a space where it's a little quiet. Yeah. Or they may need to work only 2 or 3 hours at a time and then take a break. Okay. So we have staff up there that kind of mentor them and help them one-on-one as well. Okay. All right.
TaTanisha, are there any partnerships with local organizations or businesses that enhance employment opportunities for persons with disabilities?
So we do partner with some of the local high schools, going into the schools and speaking to those with disabilities, the students who are transitioning out into the job force, helping them with self-advocacy, helping them with workplace readiness. We do partner with Publix as well. Okay. Helping I think everybody partners with Publix. We're trying to help people get jobs as well out in the community. Augusta Public Transit, we do partner with them, getting the bus passes to be able to assist our participants with getting back and forth to jobs, back and forth to the Goodwills. So those are just a few of the ones we partner with.
Okay, and I know you mentioned Voc Rehab, so I know we partner a lot with them as well. So so kind of would be a good collaboration between us and Goodwill and Georgia Voc Rehab.
All together. And it's one of the biggest partnerships that we have, because they're the ones who send us into the schools to be able to do those services to the students.
Okay, is that for all the students, or is that just for the ones that are in the resource classes?
Yes, so it's just for those with the disabilities that have been approved through GVRA to receive our services.
Okay. And then, so how, let me ask you this, how does the center ensure that its facilities and resources are accessible to those with disabilities?
So we do get a lot of guidance from Goodwill International. They do bring down a lot of whatever's going on in the country, whatever's going on nationally, to make sure that we are providing services to those with disabilities that work with them, if that makes sense. As well as Source America, we get a lot of our guidance from them to know what our facilities need to look like to be able to assist those with disabilities.
And I guess you get some input from persons with disabilities that'll tell you this needs to be this way or this needs to be that way. Yeah.
Oh yes, ma'am. So can I ask you a question, Ms. Lee?
Yeah, sure. I never get questions, so this will be a new thing.
That's right. It's a first for everything. So you're out in the community. You do have a disability. You do work with those with disabilities. What are some of the things that you see and that you think Walton Options can help with when it comes to businesses assisting those with disabilities?
Well, I know we offer brailing services, so if something needs to be turned into braille for our visually impaired consumers or consumers that aren't even our consumers that are just at a business, that we can do brailing services. We also do physical and website accessibility checks. So if a business wants to contact us and say, hey, can you check our website out? Does it look accessible, to everybody, or, and then we can kind of work with them and help them fix that. We have done accessibility, I guess checks they call them, where we've had offices call us and say, hey, can you come out and check to make sure we're fully accessible.
Okay.
So we'll go out there and check, maybe they don't have enough handicap parking spots, or
Okay,
maybe
okay.
their ramp is not wide enough or something. So we have gone out and done those before in the community. So all someone would have to do is call us and say, hey, can you come check this out? And we go do that. And we also kind of work with accommodations. If an employer has an employee with a disability,
Yes, ma'am.
they can call us and say, we're not sure how to accommodate this person. We can help them and maybe even facilitate some of the needs that they have, like with assistive technology and that kind of stuff. So we got a lot of stuff that we try to do too, not with just our consumers, but with employers in the community. All of our services that we offer are free.
Really?
So we can go do an accessibility survey for you or whatever for free. There's no charge. Is that kind of Goodwill services are also free?
Yes, ma'am. They also free of charge, and that CARF certification. Most providers, rehabilitation facilities have to have that CARF certification, saying that their building is accessible for those with disabilities. Like you said, the wheelchair ramp, have enough parking spaces for those with disabilities. With the disability decal, having enough of those parking spaces. And you said everything you do is free of charge.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll do brailing services. Like I said, we'll do all that, website checks. We'll do all that free of charge. So all they have to do, an employer or business, whatever, just needs to call us up and we can work that out for them. So, so let me ask you this. How does someone begin utilizing services at the job center? Do they just walk in? How's that look? Can you walk us through that?
So we pretty much have a no wrong door policy.
Okay.
Meaning there is no wrong way to get services through Goodwill.
Okay.
You can go online at goodwillworks.org and you can start the process on there, registering, signing up for some of our classes, being interested in some of our classes.
Okay.
And that's one way. And then you can actually come and walk into any of our job connections, and next Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Okay.
Like I said, the job connections, not the retail stores. You can walk into any of those job connections and just register, tell them what services you need. Like I said, even if it's just you want to speak to someone about disability services, employment related to disabilities, then they would route you to me. But there is no wrong way to start getting services, whether that's online or walking in person. I would say appointment, but I would be lying. So just walk in.
Yeah, and sometimes some people maybe have transportation issues. They might not be able to do the appointment thing. Maybe they can only get a ride when they can get a ride.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm here.
That's right. And they listen, our staff, they are amazing. We all work in connection. So if you walk into the Grovetown location and you need that additional help, they may call TaTanisha and I can go out there. They may call one of our staff members and we can come out there to help. So there's no wrong way, but we try to help any way that we can.
Okay. All right. That's good to know.
Yes, I am.
So I know we try to do appointments here, but sometimes people do just come in. So so you got to kind of try to work with that. So,
yes, ma'am.
Well, how does the center stay updated on best practices and trends in disability employment to continually improve its services?
And you know what, Miss Lisa, I think that goes back to what I was saying about the Goodwill International, because they do, they bring down a lot of like I said, what's going on in the country, what is going on with those with disabilities that we may need to kind of utilize and implement in our contact with our job seekers. So we usually take all of our guidance, or most of our guidance, from Goodwill International. And then we kind of stay abreast through Source America, letting us know, okay, this is something that you guys may need to work on a little more when it comes to those with disabilities. And one of our best practices is pretty much treating everybody with respect and kindness, no matter if they want to disclose they have a mental illness or cognitive illness or physical illness. Treat everybody with respect. That's one of our best practices.
Yes. And that's how we are. That's how what we do here at Walton Options.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
We try to encourage people to make their own choices. Everything is person-centered. So make their choices and do what they want to do and be independent. So
Independence.
Yep. And that's a big one. Well, that's in our title.
That's right.
Walton Options Center for Independent Living. So
yes, ma'am.
So we got it in the title. But yeah, so it's real important for them to have independence, and part of that is being able to say, this is my choice, this is what I want to do, and let them and work with them on that. So, so we, what I was going to say was, as far as like with the making choices, I think in the past there's always been not so much input from the disability community, but people making decisions on behalf of the persons with disabilities. So we've come a long way, I think, in including people with disabilities and their voices and their opinions, because they're the ones who can best speak to what their needs are.
And that makes sense. You just said a whole mouthful.
So, well, do you have, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about your centers or what you have going on? Do you have any events coming up?
It's coming down to the end of the year, so we've done we have a big job fair every year, and that was in September. Okay. But other than that, we do have job fairs individually in each job connection. Like, for example, Peach Orchard Road, they have East Central Regional come in and do a job fair once a week. Okay. They have different employers that'll come in and do job fairs individually at the job connection. Okay. And we do have those on the website at the goodwillworks.org. And if you sign up and you register and you put your email address in, you'll get the invitation and get the ads for the things that we do have coming up. Okay. And that's pretty much every day is an event. Yeah. In job connections.
It's kind of how it is here. Every day is an event. Every day is an event. And every day, you never know. So they can just go on the website and see what employers are going to be having a job fair. Yes, okay, and so do you always recommend they bring a resume with them, or okay? Because
listen, I tell everybody, you show up to a interview or a job fair with at least 4 resumes, dress nice. Mm-hmm. A positive attitude and a smile. Yep. You always bring resumes to job fairs and even in an interview. And that's something I think a lot of people maybe aren't aware of, that they need a resume. They think, oh, I'll just go fill out an application, and it's so much more to it than just filling out an application. And now you've got most of the applications are online and stuff. So we come across people, and I'm guessing you do too, that maybe aren't internet or computer savvy and don't know how to do an online application. And that's common. I mean, so is that a service that y'all offer of like basic computer skills? Have it as an actual skill, a standalone skill where we would have a class once a month where it would be basic computer skills. Like I said, we got away from it, but that is something we're bringing back in the upcoming year. And as far as getting a resume done, they can come in. We have the software on the computer where you just plug in your information, your job history, some of your skills, and it builds the resume for you. And then, like I said, we have a career coach just on site that'll help you one by one. Our employment research specialists, they're your first point of contact when you walk into the job connections. They'll even help you do your resume, or they'll go through it with you and say, hey, let's add this, let's take a look at that based on what kind of job you want. Yeah. Tanisha, I want to thank you so much for coming on today and sharing with us about Goodwill Workforce Center Development. That's always it's a mouthful, but I do appreciate you coming on. It was a lot of good information. I thank you for having me, Ms. No Lisa. Problem. It was amazing. Giving out some information and finding out some information about Walton Options. I thank you for inviting me. Yeah, that's no problem. So I just want to remind y'all to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And if you have any questions or you need anything, just call us here at Walton Options at 706-724-6262, or you can also keep up with our events at waltonoptions.org. And Tanisha, I believe they're going to have all your information on the screen. If you want to repeat it real quick, where they can reach you. So I can be reached at ttucker@goodwillworks.org, or you can come into any of the job connections, as I stated, and get help from any of our amazing Goodwill employees. All right. Well, thank you again, Tanisha, and we will see all of you next month on Tea with Lisa. Bye. Bye-bye.